What if you could turn a handful of modules and a few beacons into a factory that spits out green circuits faster than you ever thought possible? Imagine assembling machines fully loaded with powerful upgrades, all packed together so tightly that every single one is supercharged, not just for speed, but for efficiency, productivity, or whatever your factory needs the most. Ready to see 6 blueprints that can transform how you build green circuits, no matter what your factory throws at you? Let's dive in. The blueprints used are always level 3 modules and beacons to supercharge green circuits production. This approach gives us a lot of flexibility. We can mix and match bonuses like speed, productivity, and efficiency, and manage the trade-off that comes with each choice. We'll be working with level 3 assembling machines, which means we've got 4 module slots to play with in each one. For the layout, the outer belt brings in copper cables to feed the assemblers, while the inner belts are used for iron plates. The very innermost belt will carry away the freshly made green circuits. To fit the beacons in the middle of the build, we'll deliver the green circuits on the side instead of the center, freeing up space for extra beacons, and don't forget, extra beacons are needed so that even your copper cables assemblers get a productivity and speed boost. This setup lets you get the most out of both modules and beacons and sets the stage for all the blueprints we're about to cover. Let's start with the first blueprint, optimized for efficiency with a little productivity bonus on the side. In this setup, the main goal is to boost your crafting speed and sneak in some extra productivity, all while keeping power use and pollution as low as possible. Here is how it works. Each assembler gets 3 efficiency modules and 1 speed module. For the beacons, 4 of them are loaded with 2 speed modules each, and another 4 gets a mix. 1 efficiency and 1 speed module per beacon. This way, you're getting a solid speed boost from the beacons, but also bringing the overall energy use down. With this layout, you'll need about 20 assemblers and 8 beacons to produce 45 green circuits per second. If you want to hit 60 per second, bump it up to 3 assemblers and 11 beacons. Of course, there are a few downsides. Not every assembler will have exactly the same bonuses. Some might pull a little bit more power than others, depending on their beacon coverage. And while energy use is much better than with pure speed builds, it's still higher than running without any modules. So if you want a build that's efficient, keeps pollution manageable, but still squeezes out some extra circuits, this blueprint is a great place to start. But when should you use this blueprint? This setup is perfect when you want a build that's energy efficient and keeps pollution in check, but you still want to squeeze out a bit more productivity than a pure efficiency build. Use this blueprint if your factory is starting to push the limits of your power grid, or if you want to keep pollution under control while still getting solid throughput and a little bonus output. Now let's look at the second blueprint. This one is all about efficient speed. Here the goal is to ramp up your green circuit production as quickly as possible while still keeping your power usage under control. Each assembler is loaded with 3 speed modules and 1 efficiency module. The beacons, in this case, all get 2 efficiency modules each. This setup lets you keep your build nice and compact, since the crafting speed gets a serious boost. Plus, even though your assemblers are working faster, their energy use actually drops compared to running with no modules at all. Of course, don't forget the beacons themselves, they still use 480 kW each, so you need to factor that into your power grid. For output, you need 20 assemblers and 8 beacons to get 45 green circuits per second. If you want to push up to 60 per second, plan for 26 assemblers and 9 beacons. There aren't any major downsides here. The main trade-off is that you won't get any extra productivity with this setup. It's all about speed, not yield. This blueprint is a great option when you need a lot of green circuits in a small space, or you just want to keep your build steady and simple. It's perfect for those moments when throughput matters more than squeezing out extra resources. Next up is our third blueprint, and this one is all about productivity, making as many green circuits as possible from the resources you have. In this setup, every assembler is packed with 4 productivity modules, pushing the productivity bonus to the max. But there's a catch. Productivity modules eat up a lot of power and slow down crafting speed dramatically. To help control that energy spike, every beacon is filled with efficiency module. The beacons can't fully offset the power surge, but they do help keep your energy bills from spiraling out of control. With this build, you need a lot of machinery, 80 assemblers and 26 beacons for 45 green circuits per second, or if you're aiming for 60 per second, be ready for 110 assemblers and 33 beacons. It's a massive setup. The main downside is that even with the efficiency modules in the beacons, power usage is still much higher than with other builds. Plus, since there are no speed modules in play, crafting is much slower, so you'll need a huge area and a lot more assemblers to reach your target output. You should go for this design if you really want to stretch your raw materials as far as possible, like when you're low on copper or iron, or your base is struggling to keep up with resources demand. It's not the fastest or the most compact, but it squeezes out the maximum number of circuits for every resource you put in, and the green modules in the beacons do help reduce the energy hit compared to going all in on productivity without any efficiency support. The fourth blueprint is all about pushing speed and throughput to the max. If you want to produce as many green circuits as possible with minimal space and fewer assemblers, this is the one to use. Every assembler and beacon is loaded up with speed modules, no productivity or efficiency here, just pure speed. You will also need to place an extra beacon on each side to help your copper cable assemblers keep pace. And with everything moving so fast, every assembler has to be a bulk inserter, otherwise your belts and machines just can't keep up. With this approach, just 10 assemblers and 7 beacons get you to 45 green circuits per second, and scaling to 16 assemblers keeps you at only 7 beacons for 60 per second. The setup is incredibly compact for the output it provides. But of course, there are downsides. Power usage goes through the roof, over 5 times the normal draw per assembler, and pollution spikes hard. There's no productivity bonus, so you're not saving any resources here. This blueprint is the best choice if you're limited on space or just want as much output as possible fast. It's ideal for late game bases where power isn't an issue or you're chasing raw production numbers no matter the cost to efficiency or the environment. Let's move to blueprint number 5, which is all about combining maximum productivity with a serious speed bonus. The main idea here is to get the most out of productivity modules, but without letting your crafting speed crawl to a halt. Every assembler is packed with 4 productivity modules, while all the beacons are filled with speed modules. Since you can't put productivity modules in beacons, this is the most efficient way to stack the bonuses. The assemblers get the full productivity boost, while the beacons cancels out the speed penalty and actually push your crafting speed higher. With this setup, you only need 16 assemblers and 6 beacons to reach 45 green circuits per second, or 22 assemblers and 8 beacons for 60 per second. It's a pretty compact build considering how many extra circuits you're squeezing out of your resources. The big trade-off, as you expect, power consumption and pollution are both extremely high with this design. You need a solid power grid and be ready for extra pollution on the map. This blueprint is excellent if you want to maximize productivity but don't want to sacrifice too much space or output speed. It's ideal when you care about resource efficiency but still care about space efficiency as well. Finally, let's look at our last blueprint, a build that balances both speed and productivity. The goal with this setup is to get high crafting speed while still getting a solid productivity bonus, letting you produce more green circuits from the same amount of raw materials without sacrificing too much space. To do that, each assembler uses a mix of 2 speed modules and 2 productivity modules, while every beacon is loaded with speed modules. This hybrid approach keeps the design very compact. With just 10 assemblers and 5 beacons, you can hit 45 green circuits per second. To produce 60 per second, you'll only need 16 assemblers and still just 5 beacons. The downside is that power consumption and pollution, while not as extreme as the previous blueprint, are still pretty high. You need to be ready for the increased energy demand and the extra pollution output. Pick this build if you want a compact, high throughput solution that's more efficient than pure speed, but doesn't go all in on productivity. It's a great middle ground when you want a little bit of everything: speed, productivity, and a small footprint. And that's it, 6 late game blueprints for any green circus challenges you face. Feel free to try them out, mix and match, and see what works best for your factory. If you find this useful, feel free to leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this. And don't forget to let me know which blueprints you prefer in the comments. Thanks for watching and see you soon for the next video.